Welcome to Electros Classroom Series. I am Daniyal Qureshi, and today we'll cover our remaining classification of electrical energy sources, that is dependent electrical energy sources. And I hope that till now you will be familiar with independent electrical energy sources and their applications. If not, then you can check the link above, or you can also discover the link in the description down below. So without any further delay, let's get started and make sure that you watch till the end. Okay, so before we start, please take a note of the difference in the circuit symbol shapes between the independent and dependent electrical energy sources. So in the case of independent, you can see that we actually use a circle symbol. This is an independent voltage source and this is an independent current source. Whereas in the case of dependent, we actually use a diamond shape. So this is a dependent, voltage source and this is a dependent current source. Dependent electrical energy sources depend upon some input circuit variable or input circuit parameter, and the two most fundamental electrical circuit state variables or state parameters are basically nothing but voltage and current. So we actually get four possible combinations of the dependent electric energy sources, which is the current controlled current source, current controlled voltage source, voltage controlled current source, and voltage controlled voltage source. And please understand that normally there is no variation of battery or power supplies as dependent sources, but we can definitely implement them using some devices like transistors or operational amplifiers. Because the classification of dependent energy sources into various types is actually done in order to electrically model complex devices like transistors or operational amplifiers. Okay, so here is a current controlled current source, and this entire term which you can see, that is A into I, is nothing but the current flowing through this current source. Okay, and this I, okay, this I can be anything. Okay, this I can be any current flowing through any component elsewhere in the circuit. For example, you can imagine in place of this conductor, okay, this can be any circuit branch or it can also be any component. Okay, for example, resistor, capacitor, inductor, or even diode or transistor as well. And as the current I is affecting the output current of the current source, it is considered to be an input current, definitely. And here AI is nothing but the output current, which is controlled by this input current. And here you can see, if you connect any load resistance RL, then IL current will flow through this. Okay, this IL current will be same as AI. Here you can see that our output current IL is actually directly proportional to the input current. Okay, so definitely this is a current controlled current source, because the output current, okay, output current is nothing but IL is actually affected by the input current. Okay, is actually dependent upon our input current I. And here A is nothing but it is a proportionality constant. Okay, and here it is a unitless constant, because definitely both these quantities are current. Okay, and so if both the sides have the same units, then definitely this constant A will be a unitless quantity. And now a quick fact, in the case of transistors or BJTs, this constant A is actually their current amplification factor or current gain, because IC equal to beta times IB, so that beta is nothing but this constant. Now this is the current controlled voltage source, and this complete term B into I is actually the voltage across this voltage source. And if we connect a load resistance RL, this voltage VL across this resistance will be equal to this voltage source. And here you can see this current I is again, it can be any branch current or current flowing through any internal circuit component. Okay, so as it is a current controlled voltage source, definitely we are controlling an output voltage VL with respect to some certain input current I. So VL equal to B into I, where B is actually a proportionality constant. Now here it is not a complete unitless quantity, because we have different units on the both sides of the equation. Here we have some voltage in volts, and here we have current in amperes. So definitely the resultant B will be volts per ampere, or you can say ohms. Now this constant B is also known as trans resistance. Definitely it is a resistance, but why trans? Because it is actually a ratio of output voltage to the input current. So definitely it is kind of trans resistance. Okay, so now we will change our controlling input parameter from current to voltage, and so we will see voltage controlled current source. So here is a voltage controlled current source, and this quantity, so here is the voltage controlled current source, and this quantity C into V is actually the amount of current flowing through this current source. Now here the V is actually our input control voltage, and this voltage is actually on some of the circuit elements. Okay, for example, it can be a resistor, capacitor, inductor, as explained before. As this is a voltage controlled current source, we are controlling output current IL with respect to input voltage V. So IL is directly proportional to V and IL equal to C into V. Adding the proportionality constant C, this constant is actually known as transconductance with unit amperes per voltage, which is opposite or reverse to that of ohms, that is volts per ampere. So this is ohms inverse or Siemens. And this transconductance is a very common term in MOSFETs and operational amplifiers. And now the last type of the dependent electrical energy sources, that is voltage controlled voltage source. So here is our voltage controlled voltage source, and this term indicates the amount of voltage which is present across our voltage source. Okay, so D into V is basically the voltage across the terminals of this voltage source, where V is, again our input controlling voltage, it can be any, okay, and definitely our output voltage is directly proportional to our input voltage, okay, because we are controlling the output voltage with respect to an input voltage. So VL equals to D into V, where D is our proportionality constant again, and here it is unitless constant as in the case of current controlled current source, okay, because both the quantities are same, so definitely D will be a unitless quantity. But this constant D can also be considered as a voltage gain, as this is a ratio of output voltage to the input voltage. So definitely voltage amplifier is a very good example of voltage controlled voltage source. And one thing to remember is all the proportionality constants that we have seen so far, which are A, B, C and D in various different cases, are basically numeric constants. They have finite numeric value, okay, constant numeric value. So they can be replaced with their values, okay. For example, they can be 1, 2, 3 or 4 or even half, okay, 0.5 something. So you can see instead of D, 1V, 3V, 4V and something like that. Now let's see the most simplest dependent electrical energy source, which is resistor. So resistor, we can use it as a current controlled voltage source or a voltage controlled current source. So let's see how. So here is our assembly of current controlled voltage source using our resistor R. Here you can see a variable current source using which we can change the amount of current flowing through the resistor R. VR is the potential difference between the terminals of the resistor R, okay, or the voltage drop across the R. So using the basic simple Ohm's law, VR equal to I into R, where R is the resistance, okay, which is constant, and I is the variable quantity which we are going to change, and this is also the input quantity. So V are equal to I into R. So ultimately we are controlling our output voltage VR with respect to our input current I. So this is a current controlled voltage source. So here in this circuit, the resistor R is acting as a voltage controlled current source. We also have a variable voltage source which is Vs in order to provide different voltages to our circuit. We also have a load resistance RL connected in series to that of our resistance R. Again, by the basic Ohm's law, I equal to V by R, okay. So here the proportionality constant is actually 1 by R, okay. As our R is constant, so definitely our 1 by R will be constant as well. And this quantity VR can be changed. VR is actually the voltage drop across our resistor R. So how exactly we'll change the VR is by using the Kirchhoff's voltage law. So VR equal to Vs minus I into RL. Very simple. This voltage VR will be Vs minus the voltage across the load resistance RL, which is I into RL, okay. So VR equal to Vs minus I into RL. So ultimately by altering our source voltage Vs, okay, Vs, if we change this voltage Vs, will change our VR voltage across this resistance, and hence with the change in the input voltage VR, we'll also get a change in our output current. So this circuit can be considered as a voltage controlled current source. Isn't it amazing that a very simple component like resistor can be used to implement various different applications? And trust me, nobody is going to tell you all this in detail. That's why if you haven't still joined our channel, please consider subscribing, and if you enjoyed this video, please like and share this video as well. Now one thing which I want to tell you guys, and which you also might be wondering, is why I'm not posting twice a week. Earlier, as I promised, it seemed decent enough to be executable, but now with various tasks and some of the most important tasks that I have to do, it is very hard for me to find out the time in order to post twice a week. So I think that I should just settle with the safest option, that is once in a week, okay. So at least I'm trying my best to upload a video once a week. So let's see how it goes. Thanks for watching and see you there.